Hi, my name is Carla Campos. I'm the founder of Social Tech Live Conference, and I'm here with one of the speakers, Nile Flores, who is a WordPress designer and developer, blogger, and just an amazing, knowledgeable woman that I'm happy to call my friend. Hi, Nile.
Hey, Carla. So,
How are you today?
probably not as well weather-wise as you are down in Florida. It's kind of been a really ucky day. So rainy and nasty, and I think I'm ready to go to Florida.
We're ready to have you here. We have 80 and above weather. It's been really hot.
I'm ready for a beach and a suntan, maybe a burn too.
You got burned last time you were here to speak at work camp, right?
I did get a little tiny bit of color, but I think you got a little bit more color than me when we went to South Beach. So.
Oh yeah. That was a fun time.
Oh yeah, it was. So
can you tell everyone watching who you are and what you do?
So as Carla introduced, I'm Nile Flores, and what I do is I'm a WordPress website designer and developer. I'm also a blogger. I've been a blogger for over 14 years. In December, it'll be 15 years. I've been blogging at blondish.net. Long time ago, I started out as a hobby blogger, and in the days that there weren't really many people that were teaching you how to blog and everything. So in 2009, I switched from becoming mostly a hobby blogger to teaching people how to blog and do all the fun stuff to just get their site out there and everything and make their site pop. And so one of my specialities is designing and developing websites that convert, which means I focus a lot on making sure people's sites aren't broken, so that they get those subscribers, those buyers, those commentators, those social shares and everything, because that's important. The return on investment is important in the end. So other than that, I'm a mom, just like Carla is. I have one son. He's 13, and he's taller than me, and it makes me feel so short. And I enjoy my time with him because he's a smart guy, and he's a WordPresser too. He's been a WordPresser since he was 9. And so, and he also does graphics. So yeah, that's like the abridged version of my life in like in less than a minute, I guess. So.
They were looking for kid WordPressers at WordCamp Miami. Maybe we'll see them next year.
Yeah, I keep getting asked, and my son is not really into the part where he's interested in teaching people yet. So if he knows that those opportunities are there, and of course, because of his age and how long he's been in WordPress already, they really, really want him, and they keep on asking me, hey, and I tell my kid, hey, they want you to come with me. And until he says yes, I'm not going to force him to go. That's just not how we work in our family. We don't say, you got to do this. If he wants to go, then I encourage him once he says yes. So.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's the best way to deal with.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't want him to whine like, I don't want to do this, and then all of a sudden everybody is tweeting, just like at WordCamp US, not WordCamp US, WordCamp St. Louis 2 years ago. Who's playing Minecraft in here during the keynote? My kid did, and the keynotes were like, hey, I'd be playing Minecraft too. So, but.
And I see you doing a lot of the WordCamp speaking and everything. Can you tell us more about your involvement in the WordCamps throughout the U.S.?
So I've been speaking at WordCamps across the United States since 2010. WordCamps are actually a local way to learn WordPress, like a conference. They're locally based, and they're done by volunteers. It's all nonprofit. So everything that is put into the conference money-wise is spent on the conference, and any carryover goes to the next year's conference. Nobody profits from this stuff. So yeah, you're going to be introduced to some of the brands that, like, for example, for themes like iThemes or StudioPress, or some of the hosts like Bluehost, or there are tons of people that you'd be introduced to that you never thought that maybe would be a good source for your website and everything. You also learn from a bunch of experts like Carla. Carla has spoken at plenty of conferences too, especially WordCamp Miami. And so you get to learn a little bit. You learn a little bit of marketing. You learn about how to use WordPress, how to design, and how to develop with WordPress. And you also get to network. So that's really, you get everything all at once in 1, 2, or 3 day conference. And for cheap, sometimes the lowest ticket I've ever seen was $20, and the highest ticket I've ever seen was $50. And that's for the $50 for 3 days. That's freaking awesome, especially when they're feeding you and you get free stuff on top of it too. So, yeah, so that's a little bit about WordCamps. So for me, WordCamps, I give back to the community because obviously I make money from it. So and I'm sure Carla does the same. That's usually the primary goal of a speaker is yes, you get exposure, but you get to give back to WordPress. So that's all of WordCamp and Evolve.
And do you also work with Yoast SEO? Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I work as a support technician for Yoast, which is the creators of Yoast SEO. And they originally did the Google Analytics for WordPress, which is now owned by the same people behind WP Beginner. It's called Monster Insights now. But Yoast SEO is one of the leading SEO tools in the world. All sorts of websites use them. Politicians, many of our current candidates that are running are actually on WordPress and also using Yoast SEO. So we do have a lot of small-time people and a lot of very huge people that we give support to. We just make sure that people understand how to use the plugin. If it's broken or if it has a glitch, then we help them in the right direction and everything. We're always here to help, and that's a plugin that's not a small plugin to understand. That it's a tool to help Google see your site more favorably. It doesn't mean that you're going to be guaranteed right away a ranking on Google, like first page or something like that. You have to write the content. This is only a guide to actually tweak your content to be a little bit better. And I've done talks on how to make the most out of Yoast and everything. But Yoast actually has some training videos now available for free on YouTube, as well as a basic Yoast SEO for WordPress training course, so that you can totally understand how to use the plugin. So I really always recommend that people at least watch the free videos on YouTube. Basically, it's youtube.com/Yoast. And if anybody's not familiar with Yoast, it's basically toast with a Y. So, and it's really handy tool for the basic user. This is a really good tool, and the videos with it, the training videos that are for free, will actually make things a little bit easier to understand. We used to not have all these training videos, and now that we do, it's been helping people a lot more. So, and so basically I do support. So if you get like rage face on me or something like that, sometimes, I will try to be as nice as possible, but the moment you cuss, I'm like, close ticket. So, but yeah, I do all the things.
She does all the things. She's multi-talented, Nile. That's why we love her so much. So you're speaking at Social Tech Live this year about blogging, social media, and SEO, a combination of them and how to balance them. I believe that's your topic, correct?
Yes. I think that's probably the best thing, because a lot of people, when you start a website, people are telling you, you need to do this, you need to do that. I mean, that's the biggest thing when people come to me at like WordCamps at the help desk, that they're always like, man, people keep telling me I have to do this and this and this and this and this. And I'm like, how will this help me in the end? How can I get to my end result? Because the majority of people approaching you are looking for a return on investment. So if it doesn't make any sense, they're not going to do it. So basically, I'm going to answer the why and how does this fit all together. And this is good for the beginner, but also those people who are in the business of social media consulting, or as a blog coach or as an SEO, or to kind of get their explanation down to the client in the end on how this actually fits together. How will this make them money? Everything. So basically, I'm going to share some tips and some tools, and hopefully it'll make everything come together some more, and it won't seem like, okay, I have to go to all these different boxes. No, these actually do come together. So, I'm going to hopefully make it a lot easier for you.
And you always do, because last year's SocialCon, people were very happy with your presentation. They kept saying that it was filled with information, that it was just a wonderful presentation. So can you tell everyone about your experience last year and with the conference and the people there?
So I had a lot of fun last year. Actually, it's pretty cool because WordCamp Miami was there. So it's kind of like I got to break into learning the FIU, how to get to the place and which building to go to and everything. So when I got there, everybody was checking in, and everybody was really very positive and excited to learn. And that's always a great thing to walk into. And it was really cool that when I walked in, like, oh, you're Nile, or you're Niles. Because a lot of people say Niles. I'm not plural, please. The world can't handle two of me. But a lot of people were asking questions and everything. So if you're a presenter, you're going to expect people coming up to you and asking questions. There were some pretty good vendors that showed up and everything. I believe there was one with these cell phone cases that looked really out of sight and everything. It was really cool. But they were really informative, and a lot of them really understood generally what the conference was about. I think my favorite session of all is honestly the Yelp and everything one. I got into that because I do some local SEO stuff, and a lot of people don't really understand that they can actually reach out to Yelp and learn far more about how they can utilize that tool to optimize their, locally, their business. So, there was all sorts of stuff. The morning coach was one of our keynote, right?
Yes.
And he was so awesome too, and he was really energetic, and he was inspiring, and I really enjoyed it. That I actually was able to sit in on the session, because sometimes when there's several sessions going at once, if there's a keynote and then all of a sudden somebody schedules something at the same time, like another talk, if I don't get to go to that kind of stuff and take all the pictures and take all the quotes, then I kind of miss it on social media as well. So yeah, if you're at Social Tech, you will see that who is this blondish neck lady on Twitter, like dominating? That would be me. I tweet a lot. I've been a power user for years. It's only because of WordCamps that I have grown so much. Well, that and my longtime followership with my website. So I get a lot of people that say, hey, I've been following for you. I just saw your Twitter and everything. Like, why am I not following you now? I'm like, well, there you go. So, but now there's going to be a lot of social interaction, not just in person, but online too. So I would encourage people that if you aren't as active on Twitter, try to pay attention to people's social handles and get in touch with them online. And especially for the event, one of the biggest things I like to tell people is retweet, retweet, retweet. Be like Oprah, everybody gets a retweet, because that's the only way a conference that can become more viral in that area and especially nationally. Like last year, we totally dominated worldwide with WordCamp US. And so, like, if we could dominate all Florida with Social Tech Live, that would be freaking awesome. I know that we can. I know because we trended last year in Miami, but we did not trend last year in Florida. So I'd like to see us do better because this is the second year, and I think we could do that because we have all the necessary people that are going to be there this year. So.
Do you think some people are just shy to tweet? Do you think they feel maybe that no one has? I mean, we of course invite them to tweet, but why do you think that some people just don't interact online sometimes?
That's actually a really good question. That's actually a kind of a several-parter, I guess, because there's different types of people online. And yes, it all depends on who they are naturally, whether they are an extrovert or an introvert, and then a combination of in between. So when they get online, some of them don't want to, some of them think if they tweet too many times that they're going to lose followers. Well, there's a solution for that. Tweet out, say, hey, I'm at an event. There's going to be a increased number of followership. Please be aware of this. And then put the hashtag for the event in, so the event gets tagged into it as well. And so people could follow along with the event if they decide that they're interested in it. And you know, you might get a few people that are griefers, but that's, you know, that's how it's supposed to, that's how it happens all the time. You're going to get people like that all the time. It happens not just on Twitter, it happens on Facebook and Google, Google Plus and everywhere else. So it's an event. So don't worry about it, just retweet, do your best to do that. Don't worry about if you don't get a quote right. It's okay to paraphrase people as long as you get the general information correct, because somebody else is going to retweet it because it makes sense to them as well. So that's usually another thing, like, oh, I can't, I didn't get the whole quote in right or something like that from the person, and it's not right, so I can't tweet it out. Don't worry about that. There's people who don't want to tweet at all. It's fine. Not everybody has to tweet. There's going to be people that'll do enough for that, like me. But seriously, if you want to participate, more and you want to get connected, you're going to want to do that, because in this event, people will follow you back if you participate on social media. And you never know if any of those connections could be like a collaboration or somebody actually going to buy from you, or it could be vice versa. Maybe you need their services. So it's a win-win. So.
No, you make great points, because sometimes I go to events which I have no part in the administration or anything. I just go to the events, to see what the event's about. And when I go check online later, it's totally dead. There's nothing recorded online. So it's like invisible. All the great information that was shared at the event just stood at the event.
Yeah, it was funny because Yoast did a 5-year anniversary conference over in the Netherlands, and I didn't go. And it had been in my first year I'd been employed with them, so I watched the whole conference, being about 7 hours behind them. So I watched the whole entire conference from over here. And I didn't see people interacting as much as I would like, so they were live streaming it. So I decided to take in my own hands to start quoting all the really great speakers there, because there was some really awesome stuff there. And so and I was retweeting people, and I had people like, are you even here? I'm like, no, I'm just enjoying it and watching from the other side of the pond. But the great thing is it got coverage. And while Yoast does a good job, they were tweeting and everything, and I was retweeting them, and other people were doing that. They were able to trend a lot more because they had influencers actually in jumping in. And influencers are people who get other people. You don't even have to ask them. Just because you tweeted something really good, there will be other people that will tweet you. They'll add you to lists. They'll like your stuff. That you want that kind of interaction. You want them to do that, even if they're not at the conference and everything. So that it gives you exposure. Like, for example, Yoast is all about SEO. Well, I get put on a lot of lists about SEO. Yes, I talk about it on my blog too, but the thing is even though I wasn't a part of that conference, I was able to influence people to turn their attention to that conference. And that's a good thing. So those people who are influencers be at Social Tech Live, even if you have a small realm of influence, you still do something. You're still impacting all the rest of the people in your own little community.
And last year we were lucky to have a lot of influencers from at least Miami there, and they were all very interactive. And then they called their influencer friends online, so we were able to trend in Miami.
Yeah.
But it's just, we just want to kind of get that message out there for not just my conference or WordCamps or anything, but if you're at an event, you help. If you want that event to continue, help support by tweeting or talking about. And not just tweet about it, but like if you find something interesting, a speaker is sharing an awesome slide that you agree with, why not tweet it, and engage with the speaker as well.
Yeah, definitely. That's why a lot of times whenever I speak, like right when I introduce, I'll tell people, well, and my Twitter handle is Extraordinaire. I said, if you follow me, tell me, say hi, I followed you, because I have thousands and thousands of followers, and so I don't get to interact with every single person. But if you are truly interested in interacting, it's like you've got my ear as well. I'm not trying to ignore people. I do want to talk to people, and there are people who ask me questions all the time, but there are so many people. So if you want me to know more about you and you about me and everything else, you've got to do the homework and reach out. It's kind of like that business card stuff. You can't just let it lay on the shelf after a conference. Oh, I got this stack of business cards, freaking as long as my elbow or something, and it's been there for 6 months, and here I am adding 5 more to it from this other conference. Like, no, you need to take action, because in today's society, technology and information is coming so fast. So while you could speak to me 1 hour, and the next hour you might find somebody else that you actually connect to better. And guess what? Because I didn't follow up with you, or you didn't follow up with me, you're going to go to the next person after me. So it's important to actually keep up on social media with people.
And you make a really good point about so many people reaching out to you, because when people know who you are already, you have like hundreds of people trying to reach out to you, and you're definitely not trying to be rude. It's just you're one person.
Oh yeah.
So have you ever had anyone just like not understand that boundary, like that you're not trying to be a jerk or anything? It's just like, there's just so much one person can do in a day, even though, you're really talented at social media, but like reaching out.
So I've never had that on social media. I've actually, the only part I've ever had an issue was clients calling me, and I didn't give them my phone number, and they would call me at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, which is like a huge no-no, because I like my sleep, and I actually am a night owl, so that's why my business hours start after 10 a.m. I'd rather be woke up at 10 a.m. than 7 a.m.
The developer, right? Developer and designer.
Yeah, and I don't work on the weekends as well, so it's like, yeah, why are you calling me on a Saturday morning? Like, go watch some cartoons, go have some fun with your kids, or something like that. And it's just that I've never had a problem on social media yet and everything. I have had one stalking incident a long time ago as a hobby blogger before I got into teaching people. Got seriously into it. I actually had somebody come up to my house, did not tell me that they were going to come to my house. And while they weren't like dangerous and everything, I said, I don't know you, go away. So there are all sorts of stuff you get on social media as well. You get people who will greet you for the smallest things. I think I've seen, not me personally, but like WordCamp St. Louis and everything, I've seen people like, well, I'm the best podcaster. Why in this area? Why wasn't I selected for a panelist? Well, because you didn't apply, or you didn't put your name out there. You didn't express that you were interested in everything else. So, there are always going to be those type of people. There's probably a lot more griefers about like, oh, you should have had me at this conference and everything like that. Like, get over it.
No, No, but that's the thing too, like say you're in the organizer side, you're getting so many questions and people who are applying that I can't sometimes be reaching out to, like, I have to take care of the people who are actually coming in, the applications there, etc. It's
Oh yeah.
you can't go hunting down. It's nothing personal, you just can't. Hey, I'm gonna go hunt
Well,
down every.
oh yeah, you can't, it's, especially if it's a volunteer basis, like work camps, there's only so much time that you can donate toward, volunteering. And you can't, like, we reached out to a few people for like keynotes, and then a couple other, like, people that were key people that we wanted to fit in amongst our locals. And it was important that we feel a balance between some of our super rock star people and then a lot of locals, because of course the work camps are supposed to showcase locals mostly. Of course, Miami. I'm not from Miami, but they welcomed me down there because I had something to share that they really wanted to hear about. I don't know about the rock star part, but somebody recently told me I was a celebrity in the WordPress world, and I looked at him and I'm like, what? So I don't think I am, and I will continue to say I am not. But
well, you are that good, but I'm just like,
I'm like,
you are pretty darn good. You are rock star status.
I just I no, it blew my mind. You're like, oh, you're this girl that's this rock star there. That's how they said it. And I was like, oh wow, I didn't know this, and I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear it, but thank you, because when people do that, I try to be on this thing about trying to be a little more humble, because those kind of terms kind of make you like, oh my God, I'm like some badass, so I gotta act like a badass, and yeah, I get really cocky sometimes, but I gotta eat that humble pie every so often, so.
No, actually, at last year's conference, after like a few maybe months or something, no, maybe like weeks, I don't know. Somebody of FIU staff was like, you know who was here? I was like, they were like, Nile Flores, that really like awesome blogger. I'm like, yeah, I know. They're like, oh my gosh. I'm like,
Yeah.
so you have a fan at FIU in the
Yeah.
administration.
I love people who, when they follow and they connect and they appreciate and everything, because I'm glad that I can always help people. That's one of the things besides writing that I always love to do. My core passions are with my career that I'm doing now. I'm fulfilling that, so that makes me really happy to be able to help people in even a smallest manner. I mean, just speaking and answering their questions and everything. So, and hey, if I go to Miami, I get to travel. So yes, that is the third passion of mine. So yes, I am totally like stoked.
And you are secretly a rock star, right? What's up with the guitar?
So yeah, I do have a pink Fender Stratocaster guitar, and yes, I do play. It's a little harder with nails these days, so I have to use a pick, or I have to tape and tape the pick to my nail, and so it has to extend above the nail, or I'll flip the nail off because I get my nails done regularly. And so one of the things lately, I've been teaching myself guitar to Coheed and Cambria. They're a progressive rock band, and they actually have some heavy metal type of songs that have these like really these just high notes. It just makes you get this empowered feeling. You're like, I'm so energized, and like I'm ready to like kick ass the whole day. Not like kick like people's asses the whole day. I'm talking about just like, I'm ready to do this crap. Let's get it done. And so it's a really feel good music. It tells a really good story. And so whenever you have really good guitar player on there, it's like, ooh, I want to do that too. I want to learn how to do that. So I don't do any bands. So I think I'm more like, this is just something I like to do. I got it from my mom early on with regular acoustic guitar. And then, just was thrilled about electric guitars. So.
Do you ever do any of this guitar playing on Facebook or Twitter at all, where we can see you in action?
Actually, the only time people can really hear it is I learned how to do the guitar part of my opening and ending podcast, the music for that. And it was based off another band and everything. And I got together with a good friend here in Southern Illinois that has a studio. And so basically we recreated a song, and then I learned with their guidance how to do the song. Just no lyrics, just the music and everything. And it works pretty good. I don't think I have, okay, no, it's not it with the USB, but if you listen to my opening podcast, the opening in the background, you can hear and everything. I only do the guitar part. So, but that's the extent to anything. I am not like the best. I'm not really fancy. I just love it. And I'm probably more of the listener type, but it's just like a small hobby on the side. Like, it's really cool.
That sounds cool. It sounds like you love it.
Oh yeah, I probably, like I said, more the listening and everything, because I get so caught up in that I'm like, well, forget about flying. I just want to listen to this awesomeness, So, and aside from rock, yes, I like salsa, merengue, and all that kind of stuff. I like Spanish rock and pop and cumbia and all that kind of stuff too. So, yeah, everybody's like, oh my God, you're into everything. I'm like, yeah, I like it all.
Music is just fun. I don't know. I like all types of music too.
It is.
What?
Yeah.
Is your podcast on your blog, or is it?
Yes, under the category podcast, and it has the little podcast icon next to it.
So it's blondish.net.
For category /category /podcast, if I can talk. It's really easy. It's the yellow tab on my category menu. So really easy to find. And the reason why is because I'll be adding a category strictly for podcasting soon, because I want to teach people on podcasting. I've kind of amped up my podcasting stuff by I have very good equipment now. So it's one of the things that I've been doing for a long time, and I've been doing it on the Chief in the past, and Black Friday last year looked really, really good. So basically I ended up getting myself a whole new office area and equipment, and just it's been amazing because everything has sounded really, really good. And it's that time after 3 years of podcasting that I buckle down and just get really serious about it. So.
And what is your podcast about? The same, like blogging topics, SEO?
So I've actually, while it's all in the same, there's supposed to be two different types. There's a #WordPress Wednesday one. It's all WordPress stuff. It could be news, or if I decide to bring somebody on as an interview, it could be that, or it could just be certain topics that I've either discussed before or new ones. So kind of repurposing content in other mediums. The other one is on the blogging, social media, web design, and SEO, which I like to keep those separate because the WordPress one I get a lot of traffic that goes to the WordPress, but also the other one, there's a distinct separation, because a long time ago I accidentally actually separated my site. So actually I still have a bunch of people that come back just for the WordPress stuff. So I have to tend to have two different podcasts for that. Plus I also have another section for my presentations that I re-podcast, because not every one of them gets put on WordPress.tv, or they don't have all the information that I liked. Like maybe I didn't like how I said something. It's still true. It just needs to be tweaked a little bit better. Or like maybe I missed one part of what I was supposed to say, and I'm like, oh man, okay. So that's when I do the podcast, and it works out really good. So usually those tend out to be about half hour, an hour, depending on the word count, because some of them like, oh, well, you can only speak like 25 minutes, have 5 minutes for questions, or you can speak 40 minutes and have 10 minutes of questions or something like that. And so I have those type. There's a rare one that's almost a 2-hour one, which is a very technical PSD to WordPress one. So yeah, when I do all the things, I do all the things, including the development talks. And those tend to scare all the women away because when I said, there's going to be a tiny bit of code, and they're like, oh, I got to run away. I'm like,
really?
okay.
Oh my God. That's
Yeah.
funny.
I did an intro. I learned really quick an intro to plugin development for WordPress. You should not be teaching a little bit of code. And I only put one line of code. I got an example, which was okay, like the beginning of what a plugin file looks like. But apparently doing like one line of code and explaining it out, that totally freaked out the 2 women that were left in my room. Like all of it were men, and they were just like, yeah, awesome. And there were some advanced guys in there, and they're all nodding away with what I was talking about. But I was like, ah, crap. Because the guy's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have broke that line of code out.
It sounds fun to me. I would have been like,
It wasn't that difficult, and I explained exactly what it meant, like as if you were reading a book, because really code is poetry. And like, when you read the code, that's exactly what it's saying. So I really, that's why a lot of my talks lately have not been developer based. It's either been designer or SEO, or lately it's been either SEO or like website conversion calls to action. And that one's been a hot topic. That went very well. And then I actually got to debut a version of the book that I'm writing. How to create a WordPress website that works from the start. So basically, and the subtitle is From Start to ROI. So I was really happy how that turned out. That was WordCamp Chicago. So
congratulations! Wow, you've been a busy lady, Miss Nile over here.
Yeah, and it's always going to continue to be busier. But coming out to Miami will be really cool, because it's going to be an interesting summer, because I get to go from one end of the country to the next end of the country. So yeah, maybe I could get some of those blogger people to come to you all too.
Where are you going first? Are you going first, or are you going after?
After. It's like the first weekend of August. Blogger they're going to be like over 3,000 people attending. And so there's a ton of speakers, and our keynotes are like Sarah Michelle Gellar, and I can't say her Sarah name very well, Mayim Balik or something like that. I can't do.
Isn't that Blossom?
Nobody tell me.
That's Blossom.
Huh?
That's Blossom, right?
Yes. Yes. So those are 2 really, well, especially the Sarah Michelle Gellar one. I'm kind of really stoked. I'm like, I can't bring any Buffy stuff, because I'll get way too fan like, oh my God, Buffy! Like, no, can't act like that. It's LA too, so I'm pretty sure people are gonna be like that. I'm just gonna be one less person. I'm going to keep it inside. Like, calm down.
Game face on.
Yeah, she's like our age, or she's my age, I believe. Sarah Michelle Gellar. So it's like, oh my God, Buffy's as old as me. So, but I think it'll be a lot of fun, and especially after the social tech, because Miami tends to have a really nice crowd that's really interested in learning a lot. That tends to be like that in the bigger cities anyway. But you always have a lot of friends, and you have family. Is your family going to attend this year, Carla?
I believe so.
I tell you,
yes, most likely.
Anybody who attends this conference, you got to meet Carla's family. They are so awesome too. So, yeah. So you're not going to bring the kids, are you?
Maybe.
Yeah.
They'll be away.
They're a hoot too. So if she.
You've been banging down the door for like half an hour, but.
Tell them, hey, tell them Nile will get after them.
They'll sweeten you up, Nile. You'll be like, here, kids, have candy. I'll be like, no, they did it to someone else.
No, I
They'll
won't
burn
give
you
them
up.
candy. I'll say corner time. Let mommy talk. No, I'm just kidding. I won't do that. They're too cute. You can't stay mad at them. You know, same thing with my kid. Like, damn it, can't be mad. So
it's terrible, isn't it terrible how they
So I'm excited for next month, and I know Carla, you are too. And if you're watching this, you better get a ticket because it's going to be a bunch of awesomeness. You'll learn a lot. Some of the speakers actually I've met before at other conferences, and they have a lot of great information that I can't disagree with any of it. Like, it's pretty solid. So if you're going to learn something, this is the conference to go to. So.
And you heard it from the rock star. I love to bother them.
You just trying to get me to blush and everything. You know, I don't have any makeup on, so might be able to tell a little bit flushness, or maybe
just gotta put
just red in the back. You know,
we just gotta put you in the sun so you blush.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Well, it's been great talking to you, Nile. Thank you so much for coming and speaking and sharing your amazing knowledge, because you're a rock star.
Thank you. All right. Thank you for having me. I can't wait to see y'all next month.
So follow Nile and connect with Nile at blondishnet, right? .net on Twitter?
Blondishnet, no dot on Twitter. And then
not on Twitter, blondishnet.
Yeah, and then definitely follow my blog, and I do weekly tips and everything, so you should subscribe to my newsletter. Oh my God, shameless plug.
And you have a group on Facebook too, right? All About WordPress or something?
Yes, we have over 8,000 member group on Facebook called All About WordPress. I also am now a moderator of WordPress Help and Share, which is almost 10,000 members. So I guess other groups who've been finding out that I'm in the group are like, hey, maybe we should make her a mod here too. I'm like, I can't read all the things.
The rockstar life.
They just want me to tell it the truth, because as soon as I walked in that group, I gave them a whole bag of truth about why they should stop being so mean to each other when they're trying to help people. So yeah, that was my thing. They're like, ooh, tell it, amen.
It's true. I mean, even if you are kind of like, you're out of patience, you're there to help, right?
Yeah. If you can't stand it, don't even try to help. Let somebody else do it that has a little more patience. Because somebody right now is discovering how to do more than just their email. They're trying to maintain their website. They just started WordPress this month or this very moment, and they were told to go to this place, to get help. And they're asking an honest question. They don't need to be told that they're ignorant. And that's actually what happened. That's what I walked into. And I was like, we're not playing this. You're out. And then telling everybody else, I'm like, I better not see this again. So, yeah.
No, that's good, because.
And it's the same thing with social media groups on Facebook too. If you can't answer questions, you're only about being full of snark and trolling behavior, then maybe you shouldn't be helping people in the first place. Maybe you shouldn't be offering those services. It's okay to get that moment inside yourself, but contain it. Because I could talk to Carla and we could joke around and we could get snarky about like some encounters that, oh, we get this question 100 times. Well, you're going to get it 1,000, 100,000 times. Oh, you're going to get it a lot of times over a lifetime. So you need to control yourself and just help those people. And, that's why I do conferences. If I decided that I didn't want to do them anymore, that would probably be the reason why, that I just decided I stopped wanting to help people. And that's never going to stop. That's just me. I have to help people.
Well said, Nile. That's why you're a rock star.
Yeah.
But, all right. Well, thank you for stopping in. We'll see you at Social Tech Live.
Yes.
Everyone, #Social Tech Live and socialtechlive.com. Bye.